Hi, my name is Mike. My wife Nalini and I have started on a journey into natural building, constructing our house in East Texas out of strawbale and cob. What is cob? Cob is possibly one of the most ancient and common building materials in humanity's history, composed of clay, sand, straw, and water, sculpted by hand while still wet, to form walls with great strength, stability, affordability, thermal mass, beauty, and elegance. So please, join us on our journey, and hopefully you can learn along with us as we build our dream house. So, how do you go about building a cob house? What do you need to know to get started? There's an old English proverb that goes, "Give a cob house a good hat and a good pair of boots, and she'll last forever." Cob is an extremely durable material, but its weakness is water. If your cob wall has a well-maintained roof with wide eaves, the good hat, paired with a high foundation with good drainage, the good boots, then water won't get a chance to undermine the cob's stability, and your walls could indeed last for at least 1,000 years. So, how will we design our good boots? With an ancient invention from the Middle East called the Rubble Trench Foundation. In 1902, architect Frank Lloyd Wright brought this invention to the U.S., raving about its superiority to conventional concrete foundations. The rubble trench runs the perimeter of the building's outer wall and is, at its simplest, a trench filled with drain rock. In our case, for superior drainage, we designed the trench like this. We dug our trench to be 18 inches deep. Depending on where your frost line is, you might have to dig deeper than this, to below the lowest level that freezes in the winter. The walls of the trench need to be vertical, and the bottom needs to be flat and smooth. Our outer circle trench is 24 inches wide to accommodate for the width of the straw bales the outer wall will be built from. Our inner circle trench will be 18 inches wide, as we will only be building with cob for the inner wall. The trench will be lined with heavy-duty landscape fabric. A 4-inch perforated pipe will be laid at the bottom. Drain rock will be filled into the trench, and the fabric will be rolled up tight around this drain rock like a burrito. Then, we'll place our largest foundation stones on top of the burrito, and a rubble trench will be complete. Having a good building site is a luxury. We were lucky with ours, but it presented its own problems too, as its slope was much steeper than we first assumed. We were blessed by a site with good drainage, as swampy sites would make cob building impossible. We were also blessed with a mixture of clay and sand that was perfect for building with cob. The subsoil was very solid and homogeneous clay, which was not expansive clay that would expand and contract greatly with moisture. Of course, that solidity posed a problem once we started digging. We designed a circular house, 74 feet in diameter, with 2 concentric circular stem walls supporting the cob walls. Since the house was circular, solar orientation wasn't an issue. We just planned on having our large windows on the south-facing side of the house, which was open and free of trees, so we could enjoy sunlight through our windows in the winter. Our eaves would be designed to let in winter sun and shade us from the summer sun. With a backhoe, digging the rubble trench was relatively easy. However, backhoes often break down or become unavailable for one reason or another, and that's what happened to us. Not to be deterred, we continued to dig our trench with a pickaxe and a shovel. Drainage is essential for the good pair of boots your foundation will provide your cob wall. Water is a powerful force not to be underestimated. The rubble trench, is designed to drain water away from your walls. In our case, all of the site's water will drain into our small pond. The bottom of our rubble trench is well uphill of the pond's water level during a flood event. To ensure that your trench drains properly, we do what's called a bucket test. We pour a bucket of water at the high point of our trench, and if we've graded the bottom of the trench correctly, water will flow all the way through our trench network into the pond. The water poured will show you where the high or low spots in your trench floor are, so you can further refine the trench's bottom.
Bucket test. We've done like 6 little buckets. You can see it's flowing. At a pretty good rate. Look at that current. Washing away the dams and islands in the inner circle. All we need to do is break that little dam and it'll be going to the pond. Now Lemony's on it. There we go! We've broken through. So, there we have it. Water from the highest point of the inner trench is now flowing into the outlet trench, into the pond. The circle is complete. Let's go back and follow it back.
Once our trench passed the bucket test, it was time to build the burrito. On Burrito Day, we needed lots of help, so we were joined by lots of friends and family, including our natural building mentor, Kat Taylor, of Cob Hill Natural Building School in Hughes Springs, Texas. She guided us in the finer details of burrito construction, and we're eternally grateful for her help. For example, we put down a 2-inch layer of drain rock first, then laid out the perforated pipe to hug the downhill edge of the trench. We coupled the pipes together with T's and taped them together where they intersected each other with heavy-duty pipe tape. The perforated pipe must be held down into place as the trench is filled with gravel, or the incoming gravel will build up underneath the pipe and lift it higher than we want it to be. That's why it's best if you have a few people to help. You also need to be sure to have enough fabric to overlap the top of the burrito by at least 6 inches. Once the trench is full of gravel, use a hand compactor to tamp down the gravel to minimize shifting. At this point, it's time to close it up. Weigh the closed landscape fabric down with heavy rocks so the wind doesn't blow it open, and the burrito is complete. With the completion of the rubble trench, the first stage of construction is complete. Now, we're ready to start the next step, a dry stacked stone stem wall. So stay tuned, because that's what our next video is going to be about. Peace be with you all, and keep building.